Ball State, we represent. With God on our side, we're heaven sent. We're a family, we stand as one. Ball State, we've only just begun. From the Bracken Library to the quad, we spread our wings. We thank
our God.
For every opportunity, every chance, we take it all in. We dance, we advance. Mic drop.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is by you. Welcome back to the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast. As always, I'm your co-host, Andy Newman, and alongside me is the man, the beard, the longer hair than normal man, Daniel Keene.
What was that?
I don't know. I just saw your hair and I was like, wow, I didn't even think about it.
I made a pact to myself not to cut it until the end of the school year.
Whoa, I did not hear about this.
I didn't notice it until like halfway through the first semester, but I haven't cut my hair since August.
You really haven't?
No.
Whoa. How have I not noticed that?
Yeah, I'm not going to cut it like short until the end of the school year, but I think
buzz cut. Shave your head.
Kyle might do that for
Smedley?
Day.
No. Smedley, no.
Is
he going to shave the beard too, or is he just going to keep it bald with the beard?
Like a buzz cut with the beard? That's hard, though.
That just, he looked like Shel Silverstein. You know who that is? From the Giving Tree author.
That just hit me like a ton of brick of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That would be funny. I would like to see that. I kind of like to see that.
Yeah, but I did not know about the hair thing. Where did this come from?
I always liked growing out my hair. I do it every couple years.
Really?
And every couple years I get a buzz cut, which I don't like so much. But 3 times in my life have I been given a haircut so bad that I've had to buzz cut my head. So
I don't know if I've ever had that happen before.
Yeah, I'm unlucky, and I also have trust issues when it comes to who cuts my hair now.
Dang.
But yeah, there's
great clips.
No, it was actually a salon that I go to a lot.
Jeez.
Like it's like a regular place I go to back home.
Back in Brighton. I know. It was a joke.
No,
yes.
I got it.
I randomly just combined Daniel's home and our mutual friend Zuver's home into like one. He lives in Bryan. Daniel lives in Brighton, and it just became Bryant.
It works out.
Yeah, Kobe.
No, it's a salon back home, and I've gone to them a lot, and I used to go to them a lot in high school. And then one time I go in, and it's like this brand new guy, and I've never met him before, and he's cutting my hair, and he's talking, and he goes, this is like one of the first couple ones I've ever done. And I was like, oh, great. And then he's talking about like how he like dropped out of college. He's kind of figuring everything out. And then he was like, I'd love to be a stay-at-home dad. And I'm like, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, keep going. And then
good for you, bro.
He just took a hack, and I was like, it's gonna end badly.
How old were you here? Were you traumatized, or were you?
I was 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 17.
So yeah, I'd have been traumatized at that age. I'd probably still be traumatized now. That would suck.
Yeah, but it's happened a couple times. But growing up, I used all the boys in my family got buzz cuts because my dad got his hair cut by, his name is Bill, State Street Barber in Ann Arbor.
I love how we just got to this. Like, this is what we're talking. This is what we've been talking about the past 3 minutes.
It's just the little intro stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, Bill cut my dad's hair since his freshman year of college. And then when he went into the Navy, Bill taught my mom how to do buzz cuts. So she did buzz cuts for all the boys until they were old enough to tell mom that they wanted a different haircut. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of the buzz cut, but I'm growing it out until the end of the school year. And then we'll see what we do with it. I am probably going to go somewhere and ask them to like trim it up. Like I don't want to get it cut, but while I'm growing it out, it's kind of looking pretty bad right now. So I'm like, might as well, if we're growing it out, might as well grow it out with like a shape or something.
Yeah, I like it.
I have to look relatively professional.
Did you have long hair back in high school? If I remember correctly, you told me about that.
I had a man bun in high school.
Yes, I do remember that. Back in your kicker days, academic all-state for the wrong school.
Actually, it was 2 years before.
Oh,
it was 2 years before my kicker's day. I was definitely playing soccer during it though. Yeah, no, I don't know. I've never been one to stick too tight to a haircut, but I'll get it cut short, really nice, high and tight with a little professionalism on the top, and my mom will love it.
Interesting.
Well,
I like it.
How's your hair doing?
It's fine. I probably needs to get a haircut, low-key. But you know what? Let's move away from hair.
Wait, real quick. Do you have a place you get your haircut in Muncie?
No, I don't. I just go back home.
Okay.
What just happened? No. Is it still going?
it's
Yes.
there.
Okay, good. I don't know. The computer every once in a while just like randomly like pops up with different stuff. What?
We're in a shared audio
Yeah,
space.
we are. That is in fact a correct statement. So do we want to talk NFL stuff first? Or I could talk about the NFL Combine.
Yeah, you went to the NFL Combine.
That is something that is probably more interesting than the story of Daniel's hair. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed you talking about
Did
it.
you guys enjoy
people
it?
will learn. People will learn
maybe
about
they
it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
enjoyed
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
go with yes.
Yes?
I'm gonna go with yes.
Yes, you
But
enjoyed it. You liked that.
But a few weeks ago,
That's the Kirk Cousins reference.
what? Oh,
said
you
you like that.
you like that? I do like that. So a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go down to the NFL Combine for their media availability. It was super, super cool. I was able to use my credentials as the sports director for Newslink to get me, our friends John Kleemeyer and Zach Greer to go down there. I was able to talk to four, probably if you're a fan of this podcast, at least kind of know of names. Michael Mayer, he's the tight end for Notre Dame. Hendon Hooker, who was the quarterback for Tennessee until he tore his ACL.
Tough blow.
Stetson Bennett, quarterback for Georgia. And Malik Cunningham, the quarterback for Louisville, who got drafted to the USFL Stallions. Super cool experience.
All love to Stetson Bennett, but did you see how he ran his 40?
Was it bad?
Wanted bad, but his
Yeah.
the way he runs looks absolutely hilarious.
Was it really that bad?
It was pretty bad.
He also could not answer my question. He was kind of fumbling. He's like had no clue. I felt bad.
I don't really know what his plan is.
I asked him, so I thought it was a pretty slam dunk question for him because, I mean, I asked him like, hey, Stetson, you've got a lot of big game experience and success. Like, clearly. I mean, he's been to the national championship, multiple times and won. And I'm like, so how is that going to translate into the NFL? And it's a pretty clear, quick, easy answer. Like, I'm good at what I do at the biggest stage. It'll help.
Lob him a softball.
Yeah,
crank it
exactly.
out of the park.
Dude had no clue, like what to say. He was kind of just fumbling around, and then he brought it back at the end, but it was kind of just like, he literally at one point went, ooh, whatever. And I was like, what? But I enjoyed getting the opportunity to like mingle and see all these different sports professionals and stuff like that. It was super cool. I was rubbing shoulders with Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud. Didn't really get close to Bryce Young. Greer did, though.
I think it's rubbing elbows.
Rubbing elbows. Yeah, that's what it is. Did I say shoulders? I said shoulder to shoulder.
I always also never understood that.
Well, it's like I think it's just that you're so close that you just accidentally rub elbows.
Is that?
Yeah, I think that's
are
just
you intentionally trying to.
No,
rub the
you just like
elbow?
accidentally rub elbows because you're so close. Yeah.
What does the rubbing of the elbow get you?
Nothing. It's just a thing that happens.
Is it like networking?
No. Yes. It's a shorthand for networking.
I'm never gonna use that.
Yeah, rubbing elbows.
Maybe shaking hands. Like
I didn't shake anybody's hands though.
I
I think rubbing elbows. I think was like I'm saying like I was close enough to like be in their presence and be in the area.
I get it, but
Yeah.
it's still a little weird.
I don't know.
Because I don't
don't
think
know.
when somebody has rubbing elbows,
I'm saying like rubbing elbows. I
don't think
It's
of
just,
like my I don't think
it's-
my yes, but like rubbing elbows, I don't think of my elbow touching their elbow. I think of like going up to people and like putting your hand on their elbow.
which is,
Which
but
is a
like
little
no,
weird.
I think it's literally just like the act of I'm walking by you and you're walking by me in different directions and our elbows are at the same level of area and we're so close that we accidentally rub our elbows together.
I understand the reference. I just think it's a weird reference.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that thought process.
Wait, you don't shake people's hands when you interview them?
Yeah, I didn't interview Will Levis or C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson though. I was just in their presence.
Okay.
Yeah,
And also, most of the time they're up on the podium, right?
yeah, and basically everyone that I talked to was up at the podium.
I'll say, unless it's like a press conference type, whenever I interview somebody, I always say hi. I say like a little hello first,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no, but it was a super cool experience. I got there 30 minutes before the Michael Mayer press media availability, and I was able to ask him 2 questions. I thought that was super cool. Michael Mayer, do you not know who Michael Mayer is? Michael Mayer's probably the top rated tight end in the class this year from Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that was super cool as a Notre Dame fan, getting to see and talk with him.
I thought you were talking about the Georgia player who had the arrest warrant out for him.
No. That's a different But yeah, no, it was super neat. Really enjoyed it. I think probably my favorite interview was Malik Cunningham, who was out of Louisville, and he, weirdly enough, was drafted by the USFL. Which, if you're a fan of the podcast, you are well aware of what the USFL is. By the way, they start up in April, and he was drafted in the 3rd round of the USFL. And I'm like, why is he at the combine if he's getting drafted by the USFL? Ask him about it, and he goes, I have had no clue about it. They didn't tell me about it. I ain't playing in that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Really.
And
really
I got quote. And in my tweet got quoted in a CBS Sports article, which was super cool.
You go.
Yeah, which is very neat. But I thought that was so funny. I'm like, that is crazy that a team didn't even contact him. Didn't contact his agent. Didn't even attempt to reach out, according to him. Like, why? And also, what a blow that would be to your confidence as a football player if the USFL is like, yeah, this guy isn't good enough to make it to the NFL. Let's just draft him for our league. Like, are you serious? Like, that's just that, and not even reach out and ask. Like, why even waste your draft pick on that? If especially he's not going to play. Clearly,
I think that's a little odd.
Yeah, it is.
But also, it's like, that's kind of what you got to do as like a side league. You got to shoot for what you can get, and then if they say no, they say no. I do have a quick question. This is more on the sports journalism side of things than anything else.
Yeah.
When you're at a press conference or an interview and you're asking questions and taking quotes, do you only use quotes that you ask the questions for?
I for myself for this, I only did just because it was not something that I was covering for like an actual report or something like that. It was more just like I got to go, I got to do. I want to show people the stuff that I asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of more big game press conferences, and most of the time other publications have taken, like when we were in Tennessee, a couple different publications took quotes that I had asked questions for.
Yeah.
I asked a couple people in the industry about it, and they're like, no one really cares. Like, whoever asks the question is whoever asks the question. The quotes are kind of fair game. But I've had people go like, is it okay that, the publication near us, I'm not going to name drop anybody, but they used a quote of mine from a Ball State interview, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's fine. If the coach is speaking publicly, great.
Yeah, he's the person saying it. Yeah.
Like, I've always pulled quotes from whatever. I know like there's specific questions I ask to kind of aid the story that I'm working on. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I was curious about that.
I only posted all my quotes and stuff on Twitter. I only posted the ones that I asked. I probably could have. I asked a follow-up question for the Malik Cunningham Birmingham Stallions thing. I was going to ask it. I was the first person there. Someone stole it, and I'm like, well, this sucks because I was going to ask it and I didn't post it on Twitter. Some other random dude who didn't even ask the question was the one who posted on Twitter. Got like 500,000 likes, like something crazy like that.
Sometimes that's the way it goes.
Yeah, and it was a dude that was obscure as myself, so I could have 100%. If I was just standing there, could have just posted it online and gotten the same level of hype, which it's just I didn't think about it because I'm like I didn't ask a question, so it's not my quote to give.
And also like in post games, like every journalist in the room, if you look at their note sheet, if you look at the questions they're going to ask, 3 to 5 the questions are exactly the same. Yeah. But like I'm not going to get to ask all 6 or 7 of the questions I'm thinking of. But if that guy asks 2 of my questions and the girl in the back asks 3 of my questions, then I only have to ask 1 or 2. It's kind of like a team effort.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. I think it's definitely an interesting thought, but just for in that context of the NFL Combine, I wanted to only use my stuff because I thought it was neat.
That's like more of a creative project.
Yeah, exactly.
And while we've talked a little bit about the new guys coming into the league, let's
talk
about...
Before we dang it, that was going to be such a good one. It was going to be great. It's going to be great, but before we get into our actual analysis of like the new all the free agency stuff, and then obviously March Madness, because it's March Madness. Come on, there's this this thing that's kind of taken the world by storm, and I've been using it today just a little bit. It's called ChatGPT.
Are you actually? I thought we were going to run this.
No, I've done something different. So ChatGPT is an open AI model that like takes information and then like you can do whatever you want with it. Like I had it write a scene about Peyton Manning joining the Justice League. So I just fed information from Daniel Keene's website. and
is
had
that
it,
why you wanted a copy of my
yes,
portfolio?
correct, and had it write a rap, write a rap about
Andy
Daniel Keene.
asks
Yeah,
me as we're sitting here pre-recording, and he goes, "Hey, I'm thinking about working on a portfolio. Do you mind if I take a look at yours?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be a nice friend. Like, I love helping people out.
Yeah.
Give him my portfolio
Yeah.
so he can look at it." Guy copies and pastes it
into
an
the open
AI.
And all right, so I'm
this
about
a rap?
I'm about to rap the Daniel Keene rap as dictated by ChatGPT.
You better put backtracking.
Fine,
on
I will. Listen up, y'all. I got a story to tell about a journalist who's doing it well. His name is Daniel Keene. He's got the fire to tell stories of others. He won't retire. Daniel Keene, he's on the rise, a true journalist with eyes on the prize. He's got passion. He's got the drive to tell stories that come alive. He's a Ball State student with a major in news, a Dean's List scholar who's got nothing to lose. He loves sports. He's got a competitive side. He's also a writer, but nothing to hide. Okay. Daniel Keene, he's on the rise, a true journalist with eyes on the prize. He's got a passion. He's got the drive to tell stories that come alive. He's a Star Wars fan and a Marvel fan, and he's with love for Arsenal and Detroit sports. He's got a passion that's palpable. He enjoys camping and backpacking when he needs to take a break. When it comes to journalism, he's always wide awake. Daniel Keene, he's on the rise, a true journalist with eyes on the prize. He's got the passion, he's got the drive to tell stories that come alive. So if you need a story, look no further. Daniel Keene's your guy. He'll give you your fervor to make
What's
a news.
fervor?
I don't know, to make your story come alive and grab the reader's attention. So if you need a journalist, he's got your full attention. Daniel Keene, he's on the rise, a true journalist with eyes on the prize. He's got the passion, he's got the drive to tell stories that come alive.
Wow, bravo. Also, fervor is intense, passionate feeling.
There you go. Yeah.
I did not know an AI was going to drop some 5-point words on us today.
No. Hey, but you know what? I'm incredibly glad that this thing exists, and I was able to rap about Daniel Keene. I think that is so awesome.
That was good.
It was good.
Can I read the one about the Christian?
Sure.
So he had Ball State do. He had the AI write a Christian-themed rap.
Yes, a Christian rap.
Ball State University.
Yes. Why? Don't know. It was the first thing that came to my mind.
See, there's this whole national discussion right now about AI and whether or not college students use it to cheat on assignments and how colleges are working around it. No, we're writing raps.
We're writing raps. Yes. Go ahead. Give it to us.
Yeah. Let me tell you about a school where the Cardinals fly high. That's the rule. Ball State University, yeah, that's the name, where you can learn, grow, and achieve all the same. Ball State, we represent with God on our side. We're heaven sent. We're a family. We stand as one. Ball State, we've only just begun. From the Bracken Library to the quad, we spread our wings. We thank
our God.
For every opportunity, every chance, we take it all in. We dance, we advance. Ball State, we represent with God on our side. We're heaven sent. We're a family. We stand as one. Ball State, we've only just begun. Oh, there's a bridge.
Yeah.
There's a bridge to the choruses.
Whoa, okay.
We're not just students, we're disciples. Living our faith, it's vital. We shine our light. We lead the way. We give
I'm
God
saying
the
this to
glory
Bryce Simsevich. I'm saying
every
it.
single day. Ball State, we represent with God on our side. We're heaven sent. We're a family. We stand as one. Ball State, we've only just begun. So let's raise our voices. Let's make some noise for Ball State, our home, our choice. We're proud to be Cardinals. We're proud to be here. Ball State, we're all in. There's no fear. Mic drop.
Oh, I just think that is so crazy. Like I can literally think of anything and just do it.
That is
it's
the
just
funny, that is amazing.
It is, and then I also I told you about the Peyton Manning Joyce's Justice League. The last line of that is, with that, the Justice League sets off on their latest mission, with Manning tossing perfect passes to his teammates as they fight to save humanity from the latest threat.
This has been 20 minutes of like straight gibberish.
I know. All right.
Haircut. Wait, we talked about sports.
We did. Combine was cool. I think that was a cool anecdote.
Like haircuts and chat AI.
And yeah. You know what?
Okay.
I think there was something. Yeah.
You know, raps are great. Money's better. Let's talk about free agents in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. The Colts have got none except for Gardner Minshew and Matt Gay.
The Colts paid $22.5 million for a kicker.
For Matt Gay.
For Matt Gay, he's not even that good of a kicker.
He's all right. He's acceptable.
Yeah, but imagine the amount of money Justin Tucker's gonna get.
Oh yeah, dude probably could demand like a Patrick Mahomes level salary.
No,
I'm kidding.
like easily $50 million though.
Yeah, can I ask ChatGPT how much Justin Tucker's gonna make? I'm kidding. No, they wouldn't know. But yeah, and then we traded away. We let go of, or not let go. We let Paris Campbell and Bobby Okereke go to I think both went to the Giants, if I remember correctly, which is crazy.
Real quick, Justin Tucker's contract is $14 million guaranteed. So Matt
That's
Gay
nuts.
is getting paid more than Justin Tucker.
Well, I don't know if that's just guaranteed money. Like
it's
that's not his
guaranteed
full
money,
contract.
but there's a
right?
couple million in incentives, but it's still under 22 and a half.
We're paying him more than Justin Tucker.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of
pretty wild.
Okay,
let's go down the list. There's a lot of people on the free agent list right now. I'm not gonna hit all of them. I'm just gonna hit the big ones. First and foremost, Derek Carr, $150 million to go from Las Vegas to New Orleans. He's 32. Well, he's 32 before the start of the next season.
Really?
Yeah,
he's that old?
He's pretty old.
Wow. I did not.
But,
I thought he was like maybe in like 28, 29. He's 32.
Nope.
Wow.
But he gets $100 million guaranteed out of that contract.
Dang.
So he's pretty. They gave him the big bucks. Another one after Derek Carr left the Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo goes to the Raiders for $72 million. With I think it's 42 guaranteed.
Yep.
45 guaranteed.
And then I do believe Marcus Mariota went to the Eagles, if I remember correctly.
Pretty wild.
Yes, and
Pretty
then coming from the Eagles to the Colts, Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
And then any other? Oh, Aaron Rodgers says that he intends to play for the Jets. Apparently, he went into the darkness in a cave, tunnel, scary, whatever meditation, 4 days, whatever retreat for. But like 90% sure that he was going to retire, which is kind of interesting.
Back out, and he wanted to play football.
Yep, and for the Jets.
For the Jets.
For the Jets.
But before that, he made sure that the Jets are paying all of his guys.
He said that's all fake. He said there's no way. That's not real. It's just a Adam Schefter devised.
Is it though?
You talk about 20 guys, and then they just say it's a dream list, and I'm not coming unless you sign everybody.
Except they just signed Alan Lazard for $44 million.
I can understand Aaron Rodgers being like, well, they just took this out of context and made it a thing. But I can also understand him being like, well, this is never real, like, or whatever, something like that. Which I think it's a little bit of truth on every side, really. Like, he has to have been like, you know what, I'd really like you to sign this individual. Like, I don't know if it's to the extent where like I'm not coming unless you sign Alan Lazard, but
yeah.
Well,
I'm going to talk about the Lions for a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got some thoughts.
I'm depressed with one of the revelations that was made.
Yeah, we'll talk about him last because it made me. It
is sad.
Low-key made me really sad yesterday.
It is sad. It's like I don't know who that would be equivalent to for me. Like it's probably like a similar to a T.Y. Hilton leaving, but I don't know. He didn't have as much.
No, but T.Y. Hilton was on like the definite edge of his career.
Yeah,
but I do have some reasoning for that player, and we'll gatekeep it for a minute. But first. Top of the list, they gave $33 million to Cameron Sutton. I like that move.
Who is that?
He's a cornerback from Pittsburgh.
Got it. Okay.
Good cornerback. That's definitely a spot that the Lions needed to strengthen this year. And I still think there's a good chance they take Gonzalez out of Oregon with the number 6 pick. He's also a cornerback. That secondary needs a lot of work. But also, we have 2 players coming back. Tracy Walker is probably the big one. He's a guy on that defense. He's coming back at safety after I think he tore his Achilles at the beginning of last season. So he'll be a big help to the secondary, but strengthening it is the goal. And then they brought back Alex Anzalone for $18 million. He's good, but he's not, like we have Malcolm Rodriguez, and I love Malcolm Rodriguez. But he's only in his second year. So Anzalone's kind of that veteran. He's kind of there to right the ship a little bit.
Gotcha.
Also, he looks like he's like 40, but he's 28. No,
younger than Derek Carr.
Look up a picture of Alex Anzalone right now.
I will right now. I encourage you to do the same.
Yeah, do that at home. Look up a picture of Alex Anzalone.
Alex Anzalone.
A-N-Z.
I got it. Yeah, he does look old.
He looks like he's 40.
He kind of looks like Trevor Lawrence if he was like a linebacker.
I don't. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like his hair. Like
he kind of looks like Trey. He looks like Clay Matthews and Trevor Lawrence combined into one human being.
Is it Alex Anzalone?
Does he not? There's no way, and there's no one's even on there. No one's.
He looks like he's 40.
He does literally look like he's like Trevor Lawrence and Clay Matthews combined into one individual,
old.
and AJ Hawk a little bit.
Yeah. Either way, brought him back. Good move, in my opinion. And then the big one, David Montgomery, gave him $18 million. 25. He's 2 years younger than the player that we're letting go.
And who is that?
$11 million guaranteed. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
With Montgomery, that means they let Jamal Williams go. Jamal Williams went to the Saints for $12 million, but he only has $8 million guaranteed. So we're guaranteeing David Montgomery $3 million more than we would have Jamal Williams. Let me also say this: Jamal Williams is a goal line back. I love Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
I love his passion. I love his fire. He's the goofiest guy on the planet. I love him.
Yeah.
But he's a goal line
Well,
back.
don't you already have a main running back in DeAndre Swift?
We have a main running back in DeAndre Swift.
So what do you need David Montgomery for?
Who's had some injury issues. David Montgomery has the potential to be that goal line back that we need. Any running back can be a good goal line back. I'll just say that. Montgomery's 2 years younger than Jamal Williams. He's got a little bit more
skill. Is he better? Do you think he's better than the Jamal Williams?
I don't think like last season, no. But I think I would not be surprised if Jamal Williams had his best season last season, and he will not have a season as good as last season ever again. I will not be surprised if David Montgomery has yet to have his best season.
I understand that.
So
it's just I would have liked to have paid your guy that had so much passion for like. I think that's something that needs to be rewarded, especially with how well he did as well.
But I think there's kind of an understanding. I mean, he didn't leave. He didn't leave with any animosity. He didn't say anything negative about the organization. I think it was something that ran its course. It was a money thing. It was a money thing,
which is disappointing.
But also he's turning 28. And in the position of running back, 28 is pretty old.
Yeah.
No,
I get it.
And then they signed Emmanuel Mosley for $6 million from San Francisco, which is a bargain deal.
Yeah,
he's a good cornerback. Again, strengthening that secondary. Brought back a couple guards in Evan. They brought back Matt Nelson. They got Graham Glasgow.
Glasgow.
What?
I don't know.
They brought him in from Denver. Good overall. I think it's good. They brought back John Cominsky. I love that. I love John Cominsky. That's a really good guy to bring back.
Yeah.
He's 27, but he's good on the edge. He's a good guy.
It's disappointing to see Jamal go because I really liked him, and I really liked him in the Lions franchise, and I thought that made the Lions even more likable. But I think you guys will do just fine without him. Sadly, it's just kind of the way it is with running backs sometimes. Like.
It's the way it is. The running back is a carousel.
Unless you're Derrick Henry or Austin, maybe not even Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler just requested a trade.
Yep.
Unless you're like literally the best running back in the NFL unequivocally, you have maybe 5 years with one team.
Yep. Also, I firmly believe that it is darn near impossible for front offices to predict the play level of running backs.
Oh, yeah, you have no idea.
You'll have a good year, you'll have a bad year.
Well, yeah, because look at Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Also, it heavily relies on the offensive line.
Yep.
And the Lions have a very good offensive line.
Yeah.
Top 3 in the NFL.
Yeah. Do the Bears not have a great offensive line? Is that just...
Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. I mean, but they have Justin Fields who scrambles every other play. And that's a sign that it's not a great offensive line. And 2, the offensive line, knowing that their quarterback is going to scramble that often, can kind of play a little bit more lax.
Anything else big free agency? I mean, Austin Eckler requested a trade.
Juju Smith-Schuster got paid by New England.
And so did Mike Gesicki. They're just bringing in all the dudes that kind of like they did last year that I don't think it really accomplished anything.
I think Gesicki will be
Gesicki's actually a pretty good pickup. I'm surprised Juju's not re-signing. Did the Chiefs just not re-sign him?
They probably didn't want it. Well, he got paid. He got
also a lot of people leaving the Bengals for some reason, which I find really odd.
No, I don't.
You don't find that odd?
Their owner is historically stingy. He doesn't want to pay anybody.
Yeah.
But Juju, sorry, keep going.
You know what I just thought? Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Continue. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
No, it's okay. Juju Smith-Schuster got $16 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Something like that.
$16 million guaranteed. Yeah. I'm 100% certain that the Chiefs were not going to give him that money.
I wouldn't.
Money. Patriots had some money to throw around. but also I think
At Juju Smith,
at Juju Smith, Gesicki. Like I like that. I like the moves they're making.
Oh, another big thing, Panthers trading up to number 1.
Let's talk about the Carolina Panthers for a minute. This might hurt your heart a little bit.
Yeah, no.
But Frank Reich leaves the Colts, gets to the Panthers, and they are making moves for him.
Which is, I mean, drafting here. This is something that Frank Reich will largely benefit from, is the fact that they will actually finally have a quarterback of the future that he can mold and work with instead of a patch it, fix it after Andrew Luck.
And I think,
which is nice.
I think with Frank Reich, the Colts never really gave him the keys to the city.
We did, in a sense of the fact that for 2 years, we just pretty much got whatever quarterback he wanted. Like Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz were 100% just because of Frank Reich.
No, Phillip Rivers was not because of Frank Reich.
I think it was a huge reason.
Phillip Rivers wasn't a bad quarterback.
No,
Phillip Rivers did. I think people definitely talk down about Phillip Rivers' time in Indianapolis.
No, I don't. I think he was great. He was the most successful of our stint since Andrew Luck. It's been Brissett, which I love Jacoby, but it just didn't work out.
Brissett,
and then Rivers, and then Wentz, and then Matt Ryan / Nick Foles / Sam Ehlinger.
/ somebody else was in there, right?
No, it's just those guys as like starters.
Oh yeah.
Or constant starters. I think that year was by and large the best. We could have beat the Bills to go on and actually win a playoff game. We made the playoffs.
Yeah. But with what Carolina's doing for him right now,
much better.
Their front office is serving the head coach,
which is good,
better than Indianapolis ever did. And I think there's somebody in the front office who has been there for a long time who I think they should look at a change of scenery with him.
Who?
Ballard.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think Chris Ballard. I don't think he's a bad GM.
No,
I just think sometimes, especially when you're dealing with an organization that's been, I don't want to say troubled, but struggled to really find players that are caliber for the future.
Yeah, I get you.
I think sometimes when you have that going for years and years, it can just kind of be a vicious cycle, and let him go.
Yeah,
lose him.
I think that Ballard is fantastic in the draft. But I think that signing free agents and actually like creating a roster with like existing NFL talent, he is subpar at, sadly.
Yeah.
And I think that his drafts in the past couple of years have actually kind of been a little bit more of this past draft. I don't think they accomplished anything really.
Nope.
Like our biggest guy was Alec Pierce, and he was our third string. And he'd had one catch the whole year that was at all good.
What are you guys going to do at wide receiver?
I don't know. Paris Campbell's gone. So currently here.
Sorry, where did he go again?
He went to the Giants.
Yes.
Yeah. So did Bobby Okereke, which is odd. So
Giants, here, one sec. The Giants are looking good. They're paying some guys. They're paying some guys. They just got Darren Waller, big player for Daniel Jones, who they also just paid. They're spending the money and they're looking good. Shout out Uncle Brian. They're looking good.
I'd like to see what the Giants do this year. I hope that they do well. They have gotten a lot of that. Darren Waller trade is sad though.
Oh yeah,
he just got married.
Didn't they trade him on his wedding?
Yeah, no, well, like a couple of weeks or so after, or like a week or maybe. But he married a WNBA star who literally who is a part of the Aces in Vegas.
Yeah, that's not good.
And he got traded to New York.
But I feel like a lot of I was gonna say like a lot of. I'm pretty sure pro athlete couples have that all the time.
Yeah, I mean Julian Zackerts.
Yeah, Julian Zackerts. Well, that wasn't intentional. He got traded.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird, but they both live in Seattle.
They both
play for Seattle teams.
But yeah, it's just rip Darren Waller. But anyway,
well, he's got the money.
He does. Yeah, he'll be fine.
He can fly every other week.
He'll be fine. Well, I'm sure he's all right. But
what are the Colts gonna do at quarterback?
That's what I was gonna say. Like as of right now, the Indianapolis Colts roster. Our starting quarterback is either Gardner Minshew or Sam Ehlinger.
I don't hate Gardner Minshew.
But I don't want him to be a starting quarterback for an NFL team, which I think...
He started for the Jags and did pretty good.
Everyone's talking about Lamar Jackson. Not going to happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Not going to happen.
Our whole sports section.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Our whole sports section is like
Zuber,
Lamar Jackson.
Kyle, Zach, everybody.
And
Elijah.
I gave him a little bit of crap because I think it's pretty delusional. They're thinking, and then they blew me out of the room with this whole Lions had one good season stuff.
I was also a part of that. I was just mad.
No, Andrew's just mad.
Yeah,
I would like to pedestal soapbox about the Lions real quick. It's not that we had one good season and now I think we're going to win the Super Bowl. It's that we had a good season under a good GM and a good head coach, and we're building a foundation.
Correct.
And this is something that we can look forward to the future with.
Yeah, I agree.
I am excited about the future of my organization.
I agree.
For good reason.
Yeah.
The Colts fans are just like, man, we got him. We got Lamar Jackson. I'm like, no, you don't.
No.
Why would Lamar Jackson leave his current situation to play for the Colts?
Money, which we don't have.
But they're not going to.
We don't have it. Yeah,
we
don't have
the
money. Why would Chris Ballard at all spend the money on?
Did you? I think it was like $200 million he turned down mid-season.
Something crazy. Yeah, we don't have that kind of money. Are you kidding?
Colts not.
We're a mid-tier franchise in Indianapolis.
At the end of the day, your city is a mid-tier United States city. It's a mid-tier pro team.
Correct.
They don't always have a lot of money.
Correct.
Their owner's not gonna.
Correct.
Excuse my French. Piss away that kind of money on a quarterback.
No.
Like it's not gonna happen.
I think that we're gonna end up drafting, and we'll probably get either Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, or. If there's some miracle scenario where the number 3, I think it's the Cardinals ahead of us, they don't trade it away. They stay there and
take Will Anderson.
Well, yeah, and then either the Panthers or the Texans reach and grab Anthony Richardson at the 1 or the 2. We can get Stroud or Young, but otherwise, we were getting either Anthony Richardson or Will Levis, which is disappointing.
I will say I'm kind of upset that that Anthony Richardson did so well at the combine because his draft stock shot up.
Oh my God!
Before the combine, he was 100%. Before the combine, he was probably could have been an 18th pick for the Lions. We could grab our quarterback of the future, let him learn under Goff for a little bit.
Yeah.
But now he's like top 1, top 2.
Oh yeah, and I think you guys could maybe draft like a Hendon Hooker though. I think that wouldn't be a horrible choice. Or Hendon Hooker or
honestly, I like Hendon Hooker, really but he's a very I don't want to say gunslinger, but kind of a gunslinger.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to worry about that ACL tear.
Yeah, no, I think if he sits, you guys don't need a quarterback for a little bit.
We don't need a quarterback.
I think you could draft Hendon Hooker in like the 3rd round or something. I think it'd be a great idea.
Jared Goff's a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. I'll stand.
Jared Goff is
probably 4 or 5, but he's a top 5. His play last season when Ben Johnson started calling the plays, top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got the same thing with the Chiefs. Like Alex Smith, great, but I mean, you still draft Patrick Mahomes though. Like,
but we don't have we have the 6th. Let's be real. If Will Levis is available at the 6th, I do not want the Lions to take it.
They will probably. If they could.
No, I don't think they will. I think they'll still take Gonzalez.
They could.
Or if everybody starts trading up and those first 5 picks are all quarterbacks, they'll take Will Anderson. And think about Will Anderson and Aiden Hutchinson on the edge.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's a good defense right there.
That'd be fun. But yeah, no, I think it's a promising future for everybody. I'm glad to see that, not for the Colts at least. Promising future for you. I hope to see the Colts make some sort of moves that are at all relevant, other than drafting or picking up Minshew and the kicker, and trading away Gilmore and letting go of everybody or letting everyone walk. But whatever. You know what's making me a little bit happier though? It's March.
It's March?
It is March.
What is it? What does it mean to be in March?
It's madness.
It's madness.
It is insane. Wild. And what is March Madness? Oh, of course. It's the NCAA basketball tournaments, both men's and women's. I'm excited. Super excited for both. I'm hopefully going to watch some women's games this year. Really haven't been super big in watching women's games the past few years or whatever, but
I've been watching a couple.
Ball State women's basketball has, you know what? And even IU women's basketball, my brother was watching that over spring break, has gotten me into like, you know what? This is some pretty darn good play right here. I will watch.
I will die on this hill.
Yeah.
Women's college basketball, women's basketball is so much more fun to watch than men's basketball.
I can't say I agree, but
I do not like watching men's basketball. 20-minute halves, what the heck is
that? I think it's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not just for that, but also women's basketball is so much more technical, I think. I think college basketball and men's basketball, it's a very selfish style of play.
I think it's, well, yeah, but it's nowhere close to the NBA. How about that? I think it is far more reined in. But I understand your thought process. You got your guys like your big stars that'll just do whatever they want because they can. But no, I understand your point. But I think I've had some fond memories. I've had one fond memory so far in my life where I remember watching a women's basketball game during March, and it was, or actually I guess April, because apparently March Madness ends in April, which I always find very odd. Is Arike and Gubawale's buzzer beater 3 to win the national championship for Notre Dame. I thought that was super cool.
That was a good moment.
That was when I was starting to get into Notre Dame a little bit more. Sort of I'd liked their football team for about a year or two, and I was watching the game at I think it was on spring break or something, and somewhere in Florida or whatever. And they had the game up on the big screen, and she splashed that. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, hopefully if I have the time, I think I'll watch some women's basketball if it's on and if there's nothing going on in the men's area.
Yeah.
But
I'll be at a couple women's basketball games.
Yeah, hey, talk about that a little bit.
So the paper that I freelance for is sending me to Bloomington to cover the first round tomorrow morning, and then if they win the second round on Monday. Hopefully it's Monday evening because I have a big interview on Monday morning.
What are you allowed to disclose? What?
Oh yeah, I applied for editor-in-chief of the Daily News.
Hey,
my interview is Monday at noon.
Good luck to you, man.
Tentatively, I talked to the people setting up the interview, and I was like, yes, I can make that time, but just to be clear, I might not be able to, depending on how it turns out.
Best of luck.
Yes, very exciting stuff. A little nerve-wracking, but
hey,
tomorrow the game's at 11:30 tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's Indiana women's basketball versus Tennessee Tech. I'm doing a preview on it this afternoon.
There you go.
I gotta wake up at I gotta leave the house by 7, which. I don't like.
That's not horrible. I've done worse.
I've also done worse, but I don't like waking up early. Andy.
No, yeah, I had to wake up. I would wake up this morning to break down some brackets for Cardinal weather.
Ooh, oh yeah, you were up for early.
I got up at 5:45.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I broke down the bracket for Cardinal weather. Let's do it now.
Let's break down our brackets. What do you want to start with, men's or women's?
I want to start with men's here first.
Yeah, 'cause the men's is kind of going right now. Brackets have already been busted.
Yes, games are happening as we speak. It's currently 12:20 here as we're talking. I'm sure you're listening to this on a random Wednesday of next week or whatever. But yesterday's games, honestly, probably the two biggest that I'd like to highlight a little bit. Furman beating Virginia. Again, honestly, not shocking to me at all.
Not shocking.
Virginia has some weird thing where they suck.
Ever since winning it.
Yeah.
They've sucked.
Well, they're the only number 1 seed ever to lose to a 16 seed. And then they just lost to a college I've never heard of in my life, Furman.
I've heard of Furman.
You've heard of Furman before. Where are they from? Do you know?
I don't know that much about Furman.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point, Daniel. But good for Furman. I had them upsetting Virginia in a couple of my brackets. In my main bracket, though, I did not have them winning. I think both the San Diego State and Charleston and the Virginia and Furman game were toss-ups for me, and I picked the wrong ones for both.
All right, so I will run down my list right now of games that I've already lost.
Yeah,
I had West Virginia beating Maryland, which did not happen.
Same here.
I had Charleston beating San Diego State, which did not happen. I had Virginia beating Furman, which did not happen.
Same here.
I had Arizona beating Princeton, which did not happen.
Hey, by the way, let's talk about that real quick.
And I had Oral Roberts beating Duke, which did not happen.
Oh, that Oral Roberts is awful. Everyone just kind of had drank the Kool-Aid of 2 years ago and just assumed that Oral Roberts would do the same thing. They did not.
Yeah,
they got absolutely clapped.
I'll say it.
By the Duke.
I drank a lot of Kool-Aid.
Dew Devils?
Duke
Blue
Devils.
Duke Blue Devils.
Shout out Caleb Hoover.
Yeah.
I talked a lot of trash about Oral Roberts beating Duke.
Did not happen.
I was pretty wrong.
Pretty wrong. But Princeton pulling off just honestly the unthinkable and beating Arizona. I would have never thought an Ivy League school would take down a number 2 seed. But here we are. We're talking about it, and it happened.
And you know what? It wasn't even that close of a game.
No!
They comfortably beat the
it was
number
by,
2
it was by
seed.
four points.
No, but I was watching the game. It didn't look like it was chaotic. Upsetting. It was kind of just like a game.
I know what you mean. But yeah, other than that, pretty much everything kind of unfolded as one would expect. I picked the wrong upsets. My bracket is pretty awful. I had Charleston and Arizona in the Elite Eight.
Yeah. I had Arizona, Virginia in the Elite Eight. Actually, let's just talk real quick. My entire South bracket is done.
Is it really?
The 2 teams I had coming out of the South lost.
I have Alabama and Arizona coming out of the South.
I could get some points if Baylor wins, Creighton wins,
Creighton,
and then Creighton beats Baylor. That's where I can get some points there.
I'm a big Creighton guy.
My Midwest bracket's doing okay.
Yeah.
Auburn beat Iowa. Houston beat Northern Kentucky.
Which, well, I think the Auburn-Iowa one was a toss-up, but I think the Houston was slam dunk.
Yeah, Texas beat
Northern Kentucky actually gave them a bit of a scare there for a second.
A little bit, just for a minute there. Yeah. I was getting worried. But I have them going. I have Houston going to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And I don't have them going any farther. So.
I have them going to the Final Four. So
who do you have winning it all?
I have in my Final Four. I had Arizona. I have Purdue, and then I have Houston, UCLA, and then I have UCLA, Purdue. UCLA wins it all. I don't think that's awful.
That's not awful, but
no,
it's definitely not great.
I think Purdue can do it. I think that people are way underestimating them.
Hi, I'm the person underestimating.
Yeah,
Purdue.
I get it. I don't think that they're going to lose to Memphis. I think that they could probably lose to Duke, though. That is, now that I kind of have seen Duke play, especially just smacking Oral Roberts like that, I think that Duke probably beats Purdue there. And in my bracket, I have Purdue playing Kentucky. So I could see a Duke-Kentucky final there.
Yep, I have Purdue-Memphis and Memphis beating Purdue. And then I have Tennessee beating Duke. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have Tennessee beating Duke.
The game that I'm actually interested to see your insight on, and I'm sure listeners would probably be interested in hearing what you have to say about it, and myself, obviously. The IU-Kent State game tonight at 9:55. I've heard a lot of talk from people in the Ball State community and the MAC community that for whatever reason have it in their heads that the Kent State Golden Flashes have any kind of chance of beating the Indiana Hoosiers. Would you agree?
Can you pause for a minute? Can we just a little bit of quiet?
Yeah.
Kent State by a million.
No.
Kent State by a million.
Absolutely not. I completely wildly.
I'll put rent on this game. Kent State by a million.
Rent? How much is your rent?
It's enough to be a serious wager.
Oh my God! There is. I don't think Kent State has a chance.
Time out in the conversation.
In this game.
Mom, Dad, I'm not putting rent on anything.
Do not.
Yes. Stupid.
No.
But
yes.
Kent State by a million.
Absolutely not. I don't think
Kent State by a million.
I do not think, dude. If Ball State can beat them by 12, there is no way that they are not going to get absolutely trounced by Trace Jackson Davis and Jalen Hood-Schifino. No way.
One shining moment.
I don't care.
You just need one shining moment.
There is no way that they beat IU. I'm sorry.
They do.
There's no way.
They do.
And then they
get properly clapped by Miami, but we just need them to beat IU.
Yeah, some people have Drake beating Miami, which I think is insane.
No, I don't have that.
I do have Penn State in the Elite Eight though.
I had Penn State losing to Texas A&M, and then
that's
losing
insane.
To Texas.
I have Texas losing to Penn State. I think that'd be great.
I don't.
I think Penn State's the real deal.
Penn
State's real good.
You want to know why I don't have Penn State losing to Texas, or I don't have Penn State beating Texas?
Because you had Texas A&M beating them.
No, I had Texas beating Texas A&M and Texas as my national championship.
Oh, you do. There we go.
Hook 'em.
I can see that.
My Final Four is Arizona. Oops. Marquette.
Yep. Oof. I have Marquette.
Texas and Kansas.
Here's my big mistake this is probably my biggest mistake of my bracket. I had Vermont beating Marquette today.
That's not happening.
I know it's not.
I was trying
to reach for a 15 seed. I picked the wrong one of the four. If I would have reached and picked Princeton, I'd have been just the greatest predictor of all time. Mm-hmm. Like the 15 people left in the world that have perfect brackets right now, which is literally insane. How do you even have that?
I heard this analogy.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what the numbers are because I don't like numbers. But it's if you were to pick up a grain of sand.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second. Let me look up how many grains of sands are. How many?
There's quintillion.
Yeah.
Trillions, billions times trillions times quintillions
There are
grains of sand.
7.5 sextillion
Yeah.
grains of sand in the world.
Yeah.
So if you picked up one grain of sand,
Yeah.
and then somebody else around the world, selected at random,
Yeah.
picks up another grain of sand,
Yeah.
you have they have a better, you pick up the grain of sand and then you put it
Yeah.
back down. And then like 10 years later, another person picks up a grain of sand. You have a better chance of that grain of sand being the same as the grain of sand you picked up than to have a perfect bracket.
Which is nuts.
Nuts.
It's insane.
Absolutely nuts.
It is an impossible feat that I don't believe will ever be, unless AI chat GPT just figures it out one day.
They won't. Shout out real quick. I don't think it's perfect anymore, but Hannah Amos, about halfway through our editorial board meeting last night, she had Princeton beating Arizona, and she had a perfect bracket through the end of our meeting, which ended at like 7:30.
That's nuts.
She's our associate news editor, and she came in and she was like, I'll select a bracket, and she is more correct than anyone in our section right now.
That's crazy.
Mad props to Hannah.
Good for her. You want to move to women's, or you got anything else to say?
No, I'm good. Shifting over to the women's bracket.
We can go over this kind of quick. I gotta get out.
You have a class?
No, I'm have lunch. Have a lunch.
Oh, you have lunch?
Yeah, with my boy Kyle Blackburn. Yes, you remember him?
Yeah.
Yes, from the Lions Colts game.
Kyle Blackburn and I went to a Colts game. We were the only Lions fans there. And
that
then
is
the
true.
Lions won.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Marquette's beating South Florida at the half right now. That's good. Let's start with Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 out of the they don't call them the West and stuff. They call them Greenville 1, Greenville 2, and Seattle 1, Seattle 2. I don't like that. Either way, I have South Carolina, who's undefeated on the season, and let me just get the spoiler out of the way. I have South Carolina winning it all.
I do not.
I have South Carolina winning it all with an undefeated season. I have South Carolina, UCLA, and then Creighton and Maryland in my coming out of Greenville 1. Greenville 2, I have Indiana, Villanova, Michigan, and Utah. And then in Seattle 4, I have Stanford, Louisville, Duke, and Iowa. And then UConn, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia Tech. What do you got?
I have in my final four, I do believe brackets literally just locked, like literally right now. Oh, never mind, they don't. They locked probably at 12:15 or something.
They probably locked at 12:15 because that's when the Marquette game started.
Yeah. I wish I would have kind of rethought it a little bit because as of right now, I have in my final four South Carolina and Duke and Indiana and UConn. And then I have Indiana, South Carolina, Indiana winning it all. I probably would have had Iowa go a little bit farther. But shout out to the women's basketball team for Ball State in the WNIT, absolutely destroying Belmont last night here in Muncie. Super cool to see them doing well. Obviously, it's not exactly where they wanted to be, but the WNIT is still like a pretty good,
pretty fun.
Hey, it's respectable for a MAC school to be invited to the WNIT, and especially to get a win, which is pretty neat. So shout out Allie Becky, Anna Clefane, and Telma DeSaugustador for taking that dub, scoring 101 points, which is nuts.
This is pretty interesting. Real quick, so Ball State beat Belmont last night. They're going to go on to play Memphis on the 20th at 8 p.m. But interesting enough, if they beat Memphis, on the other side of the bracket is Bowling Green, Green Bay. And if Bowling Green beats Green Bay, it'll be a rematch of the Mid-America Conference Tournament between Ball State and Bowling Green, which I love that.
Interesting.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Some other big teams in the WNIT. Clemson's in it. Florida, Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Syracuse, Seton Hall, Harvard, Richmond. Richmond's always been a team that when they're in the tournament, I always pick them. I love Richmond. I think it's Richmond, Virginia. I don't know. I really like their mascot.
I thought you were going to say they're Musk. I was like, what?
I do not.
They're Musketeer. Yes, they're Three Musketeers bars. Very cool.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, my bracket's kind of donezo already.
Oh yeah, it's all yours is worse than mine.
The men's
right now.
side. I could still clean it up. As long as
I think the women's bracket is a little bit easier because generally, if I remember correctly, women's usually the higher seed wins pretty easily.
It's more consistent
Yeah.
than it is in men's ball.
Which I think I don't. Is it just like the best teams are just so freaking good that like the other teams just can't compete? Or
South
it's just
Carolina
what is
beat
it?
the pants off people this year.
Oh yeah,
They beat
yeah.
the pants off people this
Yeah.
year. Very, very good. And I think
Is it just they're just so? Is it just is
when
it,
you have like those established teams, it's pretty.
Is it that they understand their scheme and they can stick to it? Is it that there's a smaller pool of like higher elite level athletes at their level?
I think that you could say that there's a concentration of really good women's basketball teams.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, women's basketball was a small concentration of teams. Not every school had women's basketball. It's very similar, like what it was 20, 30 years ago. It's very similar to what men's volleyball is like right now.
Yeah, I was gonna
Men's
say that.
volleyball
Yeah.
has a very concentrated amount of really good teams. Ball State is a top 10 team in history. Teams like Hawaii, Long Beach State, UCLA.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams out west have very good men's volleyball teams. Princeton is a pretty good men's volleyball team.
Yeah.
But BYU out west, a lot of the out west teams, because men's volleyball for a long time was really concentrated out west. And probably 15 years from now, you'll still see those teams at the top of the pack with other teams butting in and starting programs that's really good and all, but it's going to take some time for them to really establish themselves in the game.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to everybody.
Yes,
of
best
course.
of luck to your brackets.
We'll be watching, of course, as
happy
always.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, luck of the Irish.
Yeah, I'm not wearing any green today.
I am wearing a green.
You know what I'm wearing?
Jersey.
I'm
What?
wearing maize and blue.
Good for you.
Wearing my
Great.
maize and blue.
Woo. Yeah.
But yes, thank you for all for joining us. Make sure you follow us on our socials. We'll put them in the links down below.
Yeah, hopefully we'll start getting this every week now from
Yeah,
now
we'll
on.
be
We had
pretty-
spring break.
We'll
so
be
it's our
pretty
bad.
straight on. Yeah, we didn't even talk about spring break. How's your spring break?
Pretty all right.
Yeah,
I worked at a middle school. I got $100. We're good to go.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
I went to Virginia and then came back and then hung out in Michigan for a bit.
Boom.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a lovely day, and we'll see you on the next one.
And as always, underqualified knuckleheads country, let's ride.